आज हमें चीफ गेस्ट श्री नीलेश सोलंकी जी आए हुए हैं, तो मेनी थैंक्स नीलेश जी आने के लिए। तो मैं उनका एक ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन कराऊंगा एंड देन ही कैन टेक ओवर। नीलेश सोलंकी जी इज संपर्क प्रमुख, हेड ऑफ PR फॉर हिंदू स्वयं सेवक संघ UK. He is involved with Sangh for 30 years. He gave 1 full year, full time for Sangh after graduation. He is IT consultant at PwC by profession and owns an event management business. He is the founder and chair of the PwC Hindu Network, which was started 10 years ago, and also sits on the advisory board for National Hindu Students Forum UK, a student body with 5,000 members and 50 chapters. Nilesh is married with 2 children and lives in Hertfordshire. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause to Nilesh.
Namaskar. Jai Maharashtra. Namaste Mandali. Kasakai, is that right? So, that's my Marathi for today. Thank you, Shri, for inviting myself to speak today and representative of Hindu Swim Sevak Sangh. It's a great honor to be here on today's auspicious day. I'd like to sort of talk about various things today, a bit of history, a bit of what about we can do in this country, and things that are going on in Bharat as well. So, just like we raised the flag today, in 1947, the same thing happened in the Red Fort in Delhi, and the Bharat Jhanda was raised. But how was this possible? It was only possible by various individuals and groups and people in our history that made that happen. So those people, in terms of freedom fighters, in terms of people that organized the society, made that day possible. Some of those names I'd like to mention are Shivaji Maharaj, Tilak ji, Veer Savarkar, Dr. Keshara Baliram Bhendkar, and currently Mohanji Bhagwat. What's common between those names that I've just mentioned? More importantly, we should all here be proud that they are all from Maharashtra, they're all Marathi. And there are many more. If we go to Wikipedia, you will see lists, hundreds of people who have come from Maharashtra, who have been part and parcel of that movement, or many movements, to make that independence happen. So we should be proud of that fact. However, in those times, they actually came across various challenges. And those challenges were for that period, for that time. We should understand that when Shivaji was there, his mission, his strategy was just to get the invaders out, the British out. His mission, his life, and various others who were part and parcel of that movement wanted to get those people out. That was their mission at that time. They couldn't see anything else, but that was the cause for that time. Those were the challenges faced in Bharat. So, moving forward from there, and just before independence, there were also visionaries that thought, yes, we will one day get independence, and that day came. But the way in which the Samaj was treated, the way in which the Samaj was divided, some visionaries thought we need to tackle that challenge and organize the Samaj, and more importantly, make those individuals, make the full society understand what the challenges are there and then, and be proud of who they are, and and unite once again. So, in 1925, Sangha started, RSS started, with visionaries like Dr. Ji and Guruji and various others who thought, how can we organize the society? Because without that, we won't be able to achieve much. Now from there, various organizations grew. Now that was maybe the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, Seva, Kalyanashram Trust, as well as ABVP, Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, that's just the same as National Hindu Students Forum over here, and also BJP. But that came a bit later on, it was various other organizations before that. But individuals were actually passionate in that day and age to feel they needed to give their life, their time, to make a change in their personal lives for the betterment of society, and more so for the betterment of Bharat. And that strategic vision happened with these individuals, and these organizations flourished over time. So one of the main visions of, say, Dr. Ji and various others of that time was one which was just mentioned by Sushil Ji, is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the whole world is one big family, a noble principle. And another one is Vishwa Dharma Prakashena. How can we ennoble the whole world with our Sanatan, Dharmic, Vedic principles? That's quite key. How do we, and that noble principle is way over here, but practically how do we get there? How do we make that transition in our personal lives to achieve that? And as individuals to have that vision for an organization is quite exemplary. And we should understand the longitude thinking that these individuals had. That's why we're possibly sitting here today thinking about and being proud about India. So those are the sort of challenges faced then. And Bharat faced its various challenges there, but we have our own challenges here as well. So the challenges, some touched by Sushilji as well, in Bharat are corruption, poverty, cleanliness, and various things like sustaining our own culture. Even in Bharat, there is that challenge of sustaining our own culture within Bharat. Sometimes when I go to Bharat, or if I'm in Mumbai or some of the cities, I feel like I'm in America. That's how bad the situation is. And some people, some of the Indians actually think that actually you're more Indian than I am. And it's quite shocking to see that and feel that. So those are the challenges faced in India, but I think we need to draw the attention to the challenges we face in the UK over here as well. It's difficult, but we must understand the environment we're in and who is around us and what challenges we're facing amongst ourselves. And some of those challenges are, one of the key ones is sustaining our culture within this country. And I think here, America and in the West, we do a great job because we're away from Bharat, we feel that connection, we want to keep that tradition, values and sanskars going amongst us, within our families as well. However, the challenge is doing that in a Western environment. But there are other challenges as well. Language. A key one, which just recently, if we looked at the press, various languages like possibly Marathi, Gujarati and Hindi wanted to be taken off the examination board. Why is that? That is because there isn't the demand from our own communities. There isn't the passion for those languages within our own communities. Luckily, through protest, which Sushilji mentioned, that we can raise our voices, we can voice our concerns, and I think that has been sort of stopped, paused for a while until further consultation happens. So those languages will still remain, but that is up to us now to increase that awareness and ensure we promote those languages. Two other key issues and challenges we face in this country. One is grooming, and the second is conversion. So how can we tackle these? We need to tackle these not just by a community like this, but by various communities joining together, becoming a wider community that helps each other, networks with each other, and ensures that we work together. So, I'd like to touch on the issue of grooming. Now, the Sikh community have taken this on very seriously and very strategically. They have actually initiated an organization called the Sikh Awareness Network that has professionals, legal professionals, IT professionals, as well as counselors, everything like that, who have put a unit in place where they know if an individual is at risk or has raised and has created a helpline for individuals to call and give them help of any grooming activity that is taking place around the country. Now, what is that? There are certain groups out there that are grooming our children, more so our daughters. I currently fear for the future of my 8-year-old daughter. We should all fear for the future of our daughters. This is reality which is out there. Now, I'm not saying that to scare anybody. I'm saying that to alert ourselves, to be aware of what is going on out there so we know and we can tackle it as a united community. This goes same for conversion. Now, this was in the height, in the mid-90s, when luckily organizations like National Hindu Students Forum was around to tackle such blatant conversions that were going on even on stages and rallies in central London, where our girls were on stage saying, from today onwards, I am going to convert and change my religion to this religion. That was going on. We raised a campaign in NHSF to make people aware. And to give you a personal example, I had one boy come up to me at university, when I was at university, and he said, you better stop this campaign. I said, why? Because you are promoting anti-other religions and talking about it. I go, no, I'm not. I am actually making our community and others aware that conversion is going on in our campuses. Who was that boy? His name was Bhaskar Thanki. He was a Hindu boy, saying it to me. What happened to him? He was converted. 3 weeks later, in my final year at university, luckily some good friends, and there are some good people from various communities that actually informed me, Nilesh, don't go out to any restaurants, anything like that. Don't go out in the evenings because you are on a hit list. Why? Because the university organizations, the fundamentalist organizations, inform the local community that watch out for this guy, he's spreading anti-other religion information, and make sure you sort this person out. My own friends and my own flatmates escorted me to and from university every day. The Equal Opportunities Officer, a Sikh girl, who led this campaign from the university campus, she had to put a Metropolitan Police panic button in her bedroom. Now, that was the state of affairs there in the mid-90s. That issue is still current now. We may not be aware of it. We need to ensure that our ears are to the ground and we're listening of what's going on. But we are lucky that we have the visionaries in Bharat that thought of starting various organizations. We also have the visionaries in this country who thought of starting, and the Sangh Adhikaris thought that we needed to start an organization like NHSF, and that is where we've had the opportunity for our kids who come from a tamed environment, from a family environment, but when they go to university, they're in an open environment. They could learn about any religion. They could not learn about any religion. And they could just go off anything from 3 years to 7 years and change their mindset. But luckily, we've actually created a platform for them to keep their roots and to understand their roots. So we need to try and ensure that our children, once they're growing up, there's a lot of little children here, they know about such organizations and they can get involved in them. So that was a key thing there, and I think as a community here, as various communities together, we need to be aware of those issues and tackle them together and understand those and get involved in organizations like the Sikh Awareness network and various others. We can even arrange for people to come here and give various talks on them. How else can we make an impact in this country? Education. The education system here, I was actually watching a program just a couple of days ago of Chinese teachers coming to a top school in this country and teaching the Chinese way. Those Chinese teachers, after 3 weeks, were in tears because they couldn't understand the mentality of the children here. More so, they couldn't understand the respect of the children here. 10 years ago, Sun started an organization or a project which was called Mandal. That was to bring younger children from 4 years old up to 8 years old and have a curriculum based around arts and crafts and learn sanskars through that. One key aspect of Balgokulam is to do Guru Puja, Guru Purnima, celebrate that itself. And how do they do that? They do that by all the school children, all the Balgokulam children, inviting their parents and their school teachers to a function just like this. So one function just happened a couple of months ago in Reading. And the teachers were invited, the young children conducted the whole program, and the teachers, the students actually requested blessings from the British teachers. They bowed down, they touched their feet, they gave them Jai Mala, and they done tilak on them, and they honored them as their teachers, as their gurus. Now, wo jo guru shishya parampara hai, we don't express that in this education system in this country or in the West. When the teachers were asked to speak, all the teachers were in tears because they said, I've been teaching for 25 years, 30 years, 35 years, and I have never ever been respected in such a way like this, and they were totally humble. Where has that come from? That has come from our Sanskriti, that has come from our roots, our culture from Bharat. We need to promote that. So why not, when it is Guru Puja, tell all our children here and others, make a little card, make a Guru Puja card, and give it to their school teacher. You will see a massive difference. And we, through that, can impact the education system in this country and anywhere else in the other countries. Other things to be sort of proud of and think about is IT professionals and various other people globally. Some examples were already given, but just the fact that personal example is just going into a professional environment, we can still promote, create an awareness of what our culture is about. Now, last year we celebrated 10 years of the Hindu network. We do Diwali celebrations at our offices in London Bridge with 250 odd people. The CEO, chief partner of PwC attended that function, and he was amazed and he was honored. They are promoting the diversity agenda, and they're proud to actually understand, because we live in a global family sort of environment and IT professionals are moving from all over the place. People understand, companies, corporates understand the talent we have. Hence we have so many CEOs, etc. around the world, and IT professionals and doctors around the world. So it's important, even through our profession, we can promote our values. Another organization which has started through NHSF is Hindu Lawyers Association, which is bringing Hindu lawyers together to help communities with any legal matters as well. This is professionals coming together, giving their professional advice on that. That's another way our values can change the world. Another one is yoga. Modi ji went to the European Parliament and ensured that with the UN, said we wanted to have 21st of June as International Yoga Day. It was a massive international success. Now there are so many types of yoga, aqua yoga, bodybuilding yoga, different types of yoga. What is the true essence? What are the benefits of yoga? And if we do that personally as well as educate everyone around us, they will understand actually what yoga is and where it has come from. Through health and through yoga, another value that we can actually change the world from our values. And just two other initiatives which actually promotes Seva Bhav, which is important and is inherent within our culture, is one is Seva Day. Every October or thereabouts, Seva UK have for the past 5 years launched a campaign where individuals don't need to donate any money, don't need to raise any money, just go out and give time, because that's the most precious thing to us. Go out to give time, come together as different communities, Jewish community, Christian community, other communities, and work together and do something for the local community. That Seva Bhav and that initiative has come through Seva Day, and that's something that we can get involved in. And one other initiative which happened in 2013 was Swami Vivekananda's 150-year birth anniversary. Not many people in the UK knew who Swami Vivekananda was, what he stood for, what his messages were, and what his values he was promoting, the Vedantic values and the sanskars. One project that we undertook was to go out there with 5 exhibitions around the country and hit 100 venues. We were lucky and we were actually surprised and honoured that 20,000 people in a whole year came through the doors and looked at a Swami Vivekananda exhibition and what the cultural and traditional contribution of Bharat and Hinduism is to the world. 2 exhibitions were promoted around the country. So through these initiatives in the UK, we can actually make a difference. So, touching on someone quite great right now, and who has come from very humble beginnings, which is Shri Modi. Fortunate to be connected to a similar organization. He was a Swayamsevak in RSS, he was a Pracharak, he gave his whole life, still is. And today, with the vision of Adhikaris, with the vision of various seniors, thought that this person can make a change within Bharat. We've got independence, and it's been so many years since then. But so much has happened in that time. Now the real work has to start to make a change and to actually make an impact and see and feel the change in Bharat. When Modiji was inaugurated last year, and in his speech, he actually said it's not just actually we want some of the majority or whatever to come together. It was about actually having a consensus. The whole government, the whole parliament should feel we want to make a change. And that message of Sangachatvam, of us being one, united, no matter what different politics we're in, we need to come together as one and make sure we make a change for the whole of Bharat. So he strategically thought, how can he do this? Inviting the neighbouring countries around him, developing that relationship, going around the globe and strategically having various events and developing that relationship internationally, which will indirectly and directly affect Bharat itself through its development. He's actually put Bharat back on the international map, and I think we should all be proud of that. It's important that we understand the thought process he has and the strategy he is actually thinking about. Things like, they might be small or people may not even talk about it much, but Man Ki Baat, the radio channel, he wants to touch each and every individual. He wants to lift the whole society. Without that, Bharat as a whole cannot develop. So it's important we understand that. How can we change personal attitudes and initiatives like Swachh Bharat, those sort of things are a true example of how he wants to make a difference to an individual. And that's the only way things are going to make a change. So if one state in terms of Gujarat when he was Chief Minister, can have so much impact economically, infrastructure, IT, even abroad, development. Just imagine if we had such Chief Ministers in various states, however, all those states working together as a Sangatit Bharat, how much impact it would have, not just within Bharat, but globally as well. And us Indians around the world. So, we should be proud of what is going on in Bharat. And we should be promoting all these great initiatives that are going on, and even today's speech and various announcements which were made, we should articulate those and make people aware of what's going on globally. We need to collaborate together. As the Maharashtra Mandal, we should be collaborating more with various other communities as well, feeling part of a bigger network, because that network has its strengths and that network has its talents which we can learn from as well. If we really want to change mindsets, we need to think about these visions of these noble people like Modi, like Shivaji, and like Dr. Ji. In their own times, they had their visions, they had their challenges. We have our own challenges now, today. And we need to be the visionaries for tomorrow and the youth of tomorrow. We have so much to give, and I said earlier that IT professionals around the world. So who do we have? We have Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google. We have HCL Shiv Nagar. He's from Tamil as well. He's the CEO of HCL, and also CEO of Microsoft, Satya, who's from South India as well, Hyderabad. Telugu, he speaks Telugu and he's from Hyderabad. So we have our own Satyam, Shivam and Sundaram leading various corporates around the world. So it's great to see that, and we should seek inspiration from them. They are the role models for the youth of today. So Bharat started with a military sort of program. How did they start that military program? We saw it on TV today, the massive arsenal, the parade. How did that start? It started with one rocket missile on a bicycle. Where is Bharat right now? It's there orbiting Earth as the first orbiter around Mars with a satellite which didn't cost as much as people that spend in NASA. It's a country which actually has organizations like Bharat Railway, India Railway, which is the largest employer in the world of over 100,000 employees. Also things like, in our history, we should understand that trigonometry, algebra, calculus, and various other things like that, zero, were invented in Bharat. A lot of people don't know that. We should be promoting that. Where does that come from? Things like the Kumbh Mela, every 12 years, the largest gathering on this planet takes place. Where does that take place? In Bharat. Where can it be seen from? The moon. Yeah, from the satellite. That's quite significant. And where was the first university in the world? In Bharat. So these achievements should make us proud. And it's important that we understand those achievements and promote those achievements. Just like Modi has actually understood the issues of a common man, the poorest, and wants to actually bring that common man up on par with everybody else. We here should actually ensure that our whole society, our whole community come up together as well. So let us promote our values. And 3 words I would like to leave with you is our sanskars, our seva bhav, and the consideration of our whole samaj. Let us think of our sanskars, seva and samaj and ensure that we make our Bharat Mata proud. Jai Hind.